in Salem, Massachusetts, a town infamous for its witch trials, there stood an old, abandoned house on the edge of a forest known as the Dark Grove. The house had a sinister reputation. Decades ago, a family mysteriously disappeared there. Police found signs of struggle and strange symbols on the walls, seemingly written in blood. This legend was tied to the unsolved case of 12-year-old Anna Ferguson, who vanished in 1978. She had gone to play in the woods and never returned. Only her red ribbon was found a few feet from the house. Since then, relatives of the missing and locals avoided the area, calling it the haunted house. Jessica Mason, a 29-year-old journalist from Boston, decided to investigate the story. She was working on an article about mysterious disappearances and heard that the Salem house might be linked to a series of unsolved crimes, including the infamous Highway 128 disappearances, when several young women vanished in the 1980s. Jessica didn't believe in ghosts or the paranormal, but had a knack for digging up strange and unexplained truths. Her colleague, Tom Henderson, warned her, "That house is a trap. It swallows people like quicksand." Jessica just smiled. One chilly evening, Jessica arrived in Salem. The house loomed before her, as if waiting. The door creaked as she stepped inside. The silence was eerie, broken only by her footsteps echoing through the empty rooms. The same strange symbols from the old police reports were still etched into the walls, sending chills down her spine. On the second floor, she found a room filled with scattered objects, old books, children's toys, and a broken camera. Nearby lay a faded photograph of a family, a man, a woman, and 2 children. The date at the bottom read, December 12th, 1978. Jessica felt a creeping unease, as if unseen eyes were watching her. A sudden noise broke the silence, a faint rustling, then heavy footsteps. "Is someone there?" she called out, but no answer came. Turning around, she noticed the camera was no longer where she'd seen it moments before. Her phone buzzed with an incoming call from an unknown number. When she answered, there was only a whisper on the line. "Get out. They're coming back." Her pulse quickened, but she decided to head downstairs. As she reached the front door, it slammed shut before she could touch it. Desperate, she searched for another way out and ventured into the basement. There, she found an old wooden table with a book lying on it. Opening it, she discovered handwritten texts, spells and references to sacrifices. In the corner were melted candles and charred bones. One page bore a familiar name, Anna Ferguson. The words beneath it read, "Sacrificed for cleansing." Suddenly, a cold touch grazed her shoulder. Turning, she saw faint figures, translucent but unmistakably human. One, a woman with hollow eyes, whispered, "They came for us and now they'll come for you." Jessica screamed and tried to run, but her legs felt rooted to the ground. Shadows began to form on the walls, resembling faces that seemed to follow her with unblinking stares. The whispers grew louder. "Help us! Find the truth!" The air grew icy, and a dark stain appeared under her feet, spreading like ink or a creeping shadow. Jessica darted back toward the stairs, only to find another room she hadn't noticed before. Inside, an old rug covered the floor, adorned with cryptic patterns. In its center lay a small key and a folded piece of paper. Unfolding it, she read, "They can't find you if you take this." As she grabbed the key, the whispers ceased, and the room fell eerily silent. She bolted out of the house. Behind her, the door slammed shut on its own. By morning, her car was found near the house, but Jessica was missing. Her notebook contained only one entry: "The house doesn't let go." Locals claim to hear screams from the house at night. Those brave enough to enter rarely return. A few years ago, hunters discovered human remains in the nearby woods, still unidentified. Jessica's story became yet another link in Salem's chain of mysteries. Some say that on the second floor you can see a faint light and hear a woman's voice pleading for help.